Welcome to Renty AI. I am Rent, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about AI Dungeon. It's a text generation site where you can use large language models such as DeepSeek V3 and some of their own home-cooked brands to build whatever story you want. To start off strong, they have a lot of different models, from the dynamic ones that will help you reduce your repetition and GPT-isms that we were talking about in Novel AI. Plenty of different options to suit your fancy, whether you like the older, kind of large models, huge models, small models that are, even usable in a free tier. By the way, there is a free tier, which is a great start. I love whenever things give like a free option, and also they're pretty strong for just a free tier, and overall just a strong roster. And you'll immediately notice they already have like a text adventure style set. This is the main way that you're going to be interacting with AI Dungeon, and it is through the do, say, story, and seek. Okay, so most of the time for like a text adventure, this is going to be set up in secondary person. So it's you do, you say, you, not that one, but you see, so you can make your character do an action with the do button, say something with this button, and see something with this, which would generate an image. The story button stands out because it is just like a direct input. So like if we said something like the city is burning down, then it would directly input it, and there you go. If anyone out there is taking note, I will say that the inline generation is not that great. As you can see, we have a capital just placed on afterward. There is no punctuation added. It's not as seamless as Novel AI's, and that is one of the main things that I notice, or that someone that does this a lot, it really does make it hard to kind of like generate inline. If you guys could fix that, much appreciated. One of the more interesting things that I think AI Dungeon does is actually what they do under the hood in the context menu, which is where a lot of people don't really notice what is going down. You're not going to be checking your context every single second, but they have tried to make a lot of improvements and a lot of like innovation. As you can see here, two of the main things, or the memory system they have here, they have the memory bank and the auto summarization tool, which will both grab and retrieve information as it is necessary and kind of keep track of things for you. Now, on their streams, I've heard that they are kind of going for more like a simplified design where it's just kind of set and ready to go, which, kind of aligns with how their settings is set up, where they like, they just have it pre-designed, they don't really want you to touch the things, right? They put up a big warning whenever you go to touch them. To actually activate auto summarization, you have to go over to the adventure tab, go into the plot, add a plot component, and story summary. The AI will always use this whenever generating. So when the AI actually, summarizes, it will automatically add it into this story summary. It'll slowly compress it down and keep it into a summarized version. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what it is. Pretty nice feature to have, especially with the combination of the menu thing, or the memories menu. View context, and you can go in here and you can see the adventure and the memories that you have. You have up to 200 memory things saved, and it's kind of like key parts of your story, key little moments that happen that are stored in little chunks that kind of like a lore book of events. That's the best way that I would describe it as. Very good in combination with the summary. Then you have two things kind of bouncing ideas around and keeping most of the relevant information that you have from your story coming through. For an example of these memories in action, we have the Explore Memory tab. Going in here, you can see that it's kind of like little snippets from the story, right? And eventually you'll have 200 times of things that you are doing that can each be called on anytime you go back and reference a context, right? That's what this is all about, is building up a context menu, having a little bit of lore and backstory and things automatically summarized for you to keep everything in the loop. Now then, besides that, also the way that they have the AI set up, much more like gamey instead. Like sometimes the AI, you will notice, will wait for your action, wait for your input. It will give you like a clear, go do this thing. It will, give you the opportunity to act, kind of like a DM would. I feel like that's what it's more set up for, rather than just like a straight up story. They also tend to favor more action-y in their fine tunes. Fighting, kills, fantasy, a lot of fantasy and things like that are already baked into their fine tunes. Now, there are certain things that this thing will not generate, and it is built into its own moderation, right? You can see this on their like help and guide. You can see what it won't like tolerate generating. So it is not completely uncensored, but it is pretty close to it. You can do just about anything that you want to, whether it be fighting, warring. That used to be a big thing with like GPT. I could not stand it whenever I couldn't like even do battles or like fantasy. Maybe you want to wage a war or two, maybe you want to commit some crimes against humanity or against, I don't know, an alien civilization, for instance, right? You couldn't really do that. So It is still mostly unmoderated. It's a better approach than what their, their old approach was. If you know, you know, then now then you might be wondering, how do the models actually feel? I would say they're not perfect on their own, but I don't think they're meant to be used on their own. It's kind of like they give you a huge roster because they know that they have their own strengths and weaknesses between each and every model. So while I generally don't recommend mixing, different like AI types and, going from model to model as much, I do think it kind of works out, especially with some of their more dynamic models. It really can help with the repetition, as I've noticed. It's still not perfect. It's better than without it. I do like especially the DeepSeek dynamic, which is one of their new ones, which I think are kind of a community favorite. Now, they're one of the things that I was more concerned with, especially in the beginning, so that it's kind of like squished like this. One of the things that I was more concerned with in the beginning was contact, because their contact started out kind of low, especially for the price. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it for the price, like one bit. I did a video that I don't think I published because one of my comments told me to check it out, and it was like not really a great deal. I think I was doing 15 for 2K contact on DeepSeek. While it's better than nothing, it's like I said, having a genius with Alzheimer's. Not exactly the best experience, right? You're basically putting brakes on your best model, and it shows, and it's not exactly an enjoyable experience for most people, unfortunately. But they have increased their context is to a more reasonable amount, I would say. So I think they've gone and doubled or just about doubled, most of their context sizes, which is a win for everyone. I still think 8K is kind of the a good like starting line. Anything beneath that, and you might get a little bit of constriction with like the memory itself. Speaking of memory and context sizes and whatnot, you'll notice that it not only has like the these plot essentials, the story summaries. I know it hasn't actually summarized yet; it's still a very small. But like you also have story cards, which are basically your lore book. If you're coming from Novel AI, that's basically what it is. But they also kind of put a limit on the lore book, which I don't really understand. Like putting a 1,000 character or 1,000 token limit on it kind of threw me off at first. But if you kind of look around and get some of these, very short little snippet paragraphs that they use, you can kind of get good with it. I still would prefer just having no limit, or maybe just put a warning if you go over like the limit. I mean, maybe it's just a personal preference. I like having some big characters sometimes, or like some very detailed characters, and it's really hard to like sometimes just compact them. I also, because I would typically just make like one card, have the backstory in there, the lore, the name, the race, the age, the all this good stuff in one nice little card. And now you can kind of like split it up as well. You don't have to do everything in one card. You can kind of do like a backstory, and you can do like attributes and things, and kind of split it up around here. But it does make it a little bit more of a hassle. That's just my preference though, so. And that is all just kind of the surface of, what AI Dungeon is. I think there's plenty of features that we haven't even explored yet. You like their scripting, their scenarios, how you can set and customize each and every, step that like inputs that you would go through whenever you're making a world, or, they've optimized a lot for like world building. And I will say, while I'm here on the front page, the world sharing and the scenarios is still one of my favorite parts of this community. Like AI Dungeon, AI Dungeon still retained a lot of its like sharing and community style. After a while, I think they actually brought it back, because I think it was gone for a while. So I'm glad they brought it back, because I love seeing what people are sharing and what people are actually making. I think that's a great thing to just build hype and kind of share ideas with a lot of other people. Also, yeah, like I said, themselves, they are also, being fairly active, fairly present. They're doing these live streams where they will actually play the game and, adventure on their own. They're doing, I think, Voyage, this kind of beta program that they're working on right now. They've always got some sort of beta going on. So, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty more to come, and, they're just being goofy with it. I gotta love it. I love whenever like they have presence. You know what I mean? You can really feel them. That's kind of what I'm missing right now with Novel AI. They're kind of receding and being a little quiet every now and then. They're just dropping it, feels, you know, all that to say, I can't wait to see where AI Dungeon is going, and I can't wait to maybe explore some more, you know, go a little in depth and even deeper into some of the mechanics here. If you guys have any questions, comment it down below. I love doing things from comments. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, I always love doing what the comments ask me to do. So yeah, what do you guys think about AI Dungeon? What is your experience? And after that, thank you for sticking around. I'll see you guys in the next one, yeah?